Gran's man was a beachy, though. He was on a battered ship's boat that had survived when their vessel was broken up by the great storms of the South Atlantic, with only 3 sailors left in it after weeks of sun that sucked the life from a man and thirst that drove them mad. 2 men were unconscious. Only Rob Murphy had still had the strength and luck to row the boat through the narrow channel, missing the rock teeth under the water on either side. He'd even pulled the boat onto the sand before collapsing. "A sure enough Bobo man," Gran described him proudly. She'd found herself a good 'un, a gift from the sea. Big Henry Island might get sailors wrecked as they battled to reach the Cape of Good Hope, 10 days' sail away if the winds were right, or men grown desperate in vessels stranded in the doldrums of the equator, where months might pass with neither wind to push their sails nor rain to keep a man or rat alive. The island's strange currents brought debris from even further away, barrels that had floated for 6 months perhaps, or bottles bobbing in the waves for 30 years. You never knew what the sea would give you. Plants or branches still with a few dead leaves attached could help make a roof. Bottles were cut down and sanded into drinking glasses, or funnels, or little shelters to keep seedlings from withering in the wind. Barrels could be mended. Pottery might be so wave-washed it had lost its pattern, yet still be a teacup or lidded jar. You never knew what the sea might take from you as well. The Smith McCrae Nakambos had carried one of the other sailors to their cottage, back when Gran found her beachy man. The Smith McCrae Nakambos had had 2 daughters of marrying age. The 3rd sailor had lain unmoving on a door taken up to Mistress Dana O'Hara Nakambo Fletcher's cottage. She'd been widowed young and hoped to marry again, but her beachy had died on the 3rd day, despite her nursing. Grandpa Rob had gone sailing again once he'd recovered. He'd come back home to Gran's cottage between voyages 4 times over the years, before he finally retired to her courtyard to spend his last days reminiscing with other oldie men, or telling little Mair stories about lands where men had shrunk to no higher than your knees, and were covered in hair and swung through trees, or buildings tall as Big Henry in cities 100 times bigger than the island. He'd whittle a spoon or a ladle, and sometimes, after a flagon of ale, dance a hornpipe while Mair clapped the beat, on legs that stayed sound till the day he died, sitting under the mulberry tree in the courtyard corner. There were never as many oldie men as women. Most sea voyagers claimed 1 in 4 of their crew. Island sailors were tough, but it was still rare for them to live to oldie age. A few island men found foreign lands more attractive too, though Mair could never imagine why. Some beachies had wives and lives waiting in the lands beyond the horizon. But most men who'd known Big Henry Island returned to it, if the sea allowed it. Big Henry Island was isolated. The nearest port was St. Augustine, only a day's sail away, but you might wait 6 months for the winds and tides to be safe for a boat to travel there and back. Life below a grumbling volcano disconcerted some of the beachies too. But island life also offered calm security, far from wars, disease, hunger, and other tragedies of the world outside. A sensible man returned to the island. Grandpa Rob had brought Gran the traditional marriage gifts on his first return, the ones needed to set up a good home before a couple was wedded: a cauldron, a thick iron fry pan, a set of knives, an axe, a bolt of cotton for sheets, a tinderbox. No island girl married till after the first return, the one with the household gifts that showed her man was truly bound to the island no matter how often he sailed across the world afterwards, nor how long he was gone. Grandpa Rob brought gifts home after each voyage: a new scythe, a potato fork and a sack of nails for the whole community to share, 8 big glass windows in wooden frames for Gran's cottage, sacks of wheat flour, for he had a hankering for wheat bread and bakings, and sugar too, as well as more bolts of coloured cotton and pots of bright pink or red paint.